everyone, before I start I just want to say a massive apology for my lack of videos, but I've been quite busy recently. When I was due to make a video, it was my dance school's annual performance, so I was in that Friday night, Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, so that was a very full on weekend. I didn't have time to make a video, so I apologise, but I'm here now for your entertainment. So the first book I'm reviewing today, I have finally read it. It is Splintered. I have talked about this book, I've mentioned this book quite a bit in my videos, just because I think the artwork is really nice and I don't seem to be able to get over it. And it's such a good book. I really enjoyed it. It's basically about this girl called Alyssa, and she is the great granddaughter of Alice Liddell, the girl who supposedly went into Wonderland and told Lewis Carroll of her adventures, and he wrote them down into a book. So basically it's a retelling of the Alice in Wonderland. Well, it's not a retelling, I suppose, it's more like an add-on to the Alice in Wonderland stories, because her family, all the women in her family, basically are put under this curse because of what Alice did in Wonderland, and Alyssa sees her mum and the effects that the curse has had on her mum, and she gets very scared, and things start happening to her, and she kind of wonders whether she's going a bit crazy too, because her mum's in an institute because people think she's crazy, and Alyssa thinks maybe she's going down that road as well, and she gets quite scared, and then things start to happen and she wonders actually maybe Wonderland is real, and there could be a way for her to help her mum and to save herself as well, and the women in her family that could be. She then goes on this adventure with her friend. Well, I say friend, they become a bit more than that later on, but she goes on this adventure with him and they go into Wonderland. Adventure goes on from there, so it's a very good book. The imagery is really nice. You really do you feel like you're there. It's just really nice, and if you like the sort of retelling of like a classic, like a modern adaptation of a classic, which I really do. Splintered by A.G Howard, 5 out of 5. Definitely recommend, go read it. Yep. So the next book that I am reviewing isn't really a book, it's not a novel, it is a play. It's a play that again I'm doing for my English Lit outside of the classroom. I really enjoy it, and it is called Jerusalem by Jez Butterworth. It's a fairly new play when it, in terms of like play age. It was only written in 2010. Basically it follows one day and of this man called Johnny Byron, and basically he is one of those people that you see on Jeremy Kyle. He lives illegally on a new estate that the council have built. He lives in a mobile home. He sells drugs and alcohol to children, basically, like underage girls, underage boys. When you first meet him you think he's an all-round prat and you don't like him, or at least I didn't, and you just think he's one of those lowlifes that just, you don't want them there. You see them and you know about them in society, but you kind of ignore them. You don't want to kind of recognise them in your sort of society, but they are there. He's one of them, his gang of friends and him, he was one of them. And it follows their day of the Flintock Fair, this annual fair that the town has. And basically the council are trying to get Johnny off their land. He's living illegally on their land and they want to get rid of him. And it follows the story of that. And at first you don't feel any sympathy for Johnny at all. He's like, you think you're a drug dealer, you're living illegally, you need to go, nobody likes you. You find out his friends are always like with him, they kind of take the mick out of him, they're nasty to him. Everybody thought they were friends with, they've signed this petition to get him out of the place that they live, and he kind of feels quite alone. And when he's on stage with all his friends, he's this big like persona, and he's very happy and he commands the stage and he's very like full of himself. But when he's alone on stage by himself, he kind of goes in himself, and he's quite small, and he's not allowed to say timid, but he's quite shy, and he's like, I don't know, you kind of feel a bit sympathy for him, because all his friends are kind of turning against him, and he's about 50 is this man, so for 50 years he's had these people buy him, and despite the terrible things that he does, you do feel sorry for him. And it ends with all his friends have gone. He's been beaten up by this man who is a paedophile, and Johnny was trying to protect the girl who this man sexually abuses, and it ends on quite a cliffhanger. You don't know, which is infuriating. You don't know whether he's alive or whether he's dead, so yeah, quite a cliffhanger. But you also kind of get this sense that he's quite a mystical sort of being. There's a lot of like oldie worldy sort of references, like the giants, Jack and the Beanstalk. The giants is like the main oldie world reference in this. So it's quite fantastical as well, but it's just it's a really nice, it juxtaposes the Old England and the traditions of Old England and the glory of what is Old England, and New England, and the kind of squashing of traditions that is happening now, and how corporations are coming in and they're crushing out and smushing out all of any sort of individualistic old world sort of traditions. And that's basically the main theme of this play, and I think it's a very good main theme. It's quite current, and it's one I think we all kind of need to have a look onto. With like old traditions, they need to be remembered. So it's a very good play. Jerusalem, would recommend. I'm going to give it 4 out of 5. In other news, this is going to sound really random, but my favourite band is McFly, and Tom Fletcher, one of the band members, his wife is writing a book, and she held a competition on Goodreads for 50 people to win them. 20,000 people entered, so I obviously didn't think I was going to. It was Billy and Me, Giovanna Fletcher's first novel. There's only 50 people who won this. 50 people out of 20,000. I am one of them. It doesn't come out till the 23rd of the 5th. So yeah, I am the first, one of the first to get it. Look at this, look at the bottom, it says advanced copy. And then it says the date when it's meant to come out. But I've got it before. I'm too excited for This video is just turning into me sitting making noises, and I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'll see you again soon, and it'll be on time this time. What am I doing? I don't know. Bye!